Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode of group coaching. I'm looking forward, fellas, to chatting today in this every other week podcast that we have on. Just real quickly to set the stage, we got Randy Denha, CEO of Denha and Associates, estate planner. We got Simon Thomas, CEO of DOBI Real Estate, Jeff Sloan, CEO of StartupNation, and myself. We are all doing group coaching models together, right? And we're here to talk about the power of group coaching. All of those can be found at johndwoskin.com for now, and more information to follow as we launch these in kind of end of May 2021. And I'm excited to chat with you guys today. We'll tell more about the groups in a little bit, but the power of group coaching, the power of one-to-many, we kind of all, connected and thought, what a good topic would be talking about, pieces, what are the pieces of a successful one-year plan, right? Jeff, you and I are going to be doing a private coaching group for that 0 to 3 year business starter. Simon, realtors, residential realtors all over the country from that 0 to 3 years. Simon, Randy, attorneys that just need coaching but never knew they did. So what is a successful one-year plan? Let's talk about that in today's I'm going to call it kind of like a pandemic, endemic world, right? What is a one-year plan from today look like? Jeff, you're nodding your head. I'll let you kind of jump in and start.
It's dangerous to always nod your head, right? Yeah. I'm happy to jump in. First, John, I think a one-year plan that can be deemed successful is one that's part of a longer plan. So whether you do a 3-year longer plan, a 5-year long, whatever it is, we're going to be in 5 years kind of thing. It all starts with, breaking that down, assigning, key milestones and everything else to, at a very high level across that longer term plan. And then your one-year plan is really the more near-term component of all of that.
Yeah.
And so I think first of all, to put that in context, that's important. And I think look, it's got to be a living document. This is the kind of thing you put it down, you say this is where I think I'm going to be, but especially in where I am and where we're going to be, John, coaching entrepreneurs at the earliest stages. If that 1 year is your first year, you just have to go into that knowing this is messy stuff. This is really messy stuff. You can lay out the best plan in the world, but every day you get up, you're going to be modifying that plan slightly here and there, little turns here, little turns there, big turns here, big turns there, because that's the way startups, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
well said. Fellas, any thoughts?
Yeah,
Simon?
I think, I'm sorry, Simon.
Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, to Jeff, I agree with Jeff. The key is, the best way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
Yeah.
And we need small, manageable pieces, to really reflect, what our goals are, what those priorities are, and what strategies do we need in order to get there. So, this one-year plan, it is a living, breathing document.
Yes.
Look at where we are. John, I still recall, like it was yesterday when we launched, our podcast during COVID.
Yeah.
And every plan we could have had last year, with every passing extension of, stay at home, to Costco being out of certain things, to whatever it was, everything was changing. But yet we continued to pivot throughout that, as all of us did, and we came out better. But the key was knowing, as Jeff said, where we want to be, right? We have that goalpost in mind, but getting there may take a couple different turns, but we're going to get there ultimately.
Yeah. It's funny you talk about Costco. I never thought I would have 15 boxes of 30 rolls each of paper towel that I bought from my buddy at Jan Supply when you could not get paper towel anywhere.
I was going to say, John, that's why the rest of us don't have any.
Right.
You bought it all.
I'm down to 10.
No. He was selling it to everybody. He had a lot. I wasn't hoarding it. Right. I should preface that. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Simon,
Yes.
Simon, any thoughts on that? Not the paper towel. Yeah.
For me, I used to hate looking, longer than a year. People would say, "What's your 3 year? What's your 5 year?" And DOBI was a startup 3 years ago, and It's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to get people to believe in this. I'm trying to build systems and processes. I have no clue. And when we really started rocking was writing it down. And even if you're on your own or you have a team, you know, small wins. To me, it turned into small wins. So this is the big picture for the year. Forget about 5-10 years from now. Like, especially in the beginning, like this is where we want to be. And if you have to go smaller than that, 90-day increments. But here's the picture for the year. Let's break it up into little wins. If you know, Randy, you swallow an elephant, you know, I mean, it's too hard to do that. And, you know, it's kind of like, I remember when I was a young kid, you know, coming out of college, you know, I had lots of credit card debt. Nobody taught me about credit cards, right? And like, it was exhausting. And I had a mentor tell me, Simon, like, stop trying to tackle the biggest one, right? Like, you had like 5 or 6. I started a couple businesses that failed miserably. Like, it wasn't from doing dumb things. It was all just trying things. And he's like, start with the smallest credit card, get it paid off, and go down and then work your way. And got the first one paid off. I felt amazing, right? It was a win. It's kind of the same thing with this is, you know, in the first year, we want to do $500,000 in revenue, $1 million, whatever the number is. It's like, we want to get to, you know, for us, it's agents. We want to get to a certain amount of agents. So it was like, all right, what do we got to do to get to 25 agents in a year? And let's put that in a 90-day increment. And then everybody owns something. Everybody's responsible. And when it's just you, you're responsible for something. So, and then meeting weekly to make sure that, you know, you're on track, off track. That took me about three years to really perfect and learn, but it was really about the small wins. Somebody on my team will say, I want to do this. And it's like, well, I love that idea, but let's hone it down a little bit because that sounds like something really massive. Then before you know it, you look back, you're like, oh my God, our goal is to do 25 agents. We have 50. Like, just so small wins is and again, just categorizing your 1 year and breaking it down that way, you know, for me is how you could be successful. Celebrate the small things. It will get you there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, go ahead, John.
Jump in.
No, I just wanted to underscore. I think Simon's hit on something really important. You know, a 1 year plan, many of us look at it, or a 5 year plan, whatever it may be. We look at it really from the standpoint of as it being a productivity tool and keeping you on track, you know, keeping you organized, checking against milestones for achievement and so on, kind of seeing where you are. That's all really important. But a kind of lesser thought of perspective on having a plan is exactly what Simon just said. In order to really feel good about going to work every day and feeling like you're achieving something, having a plan can help you do just that, because it helps you understand that you're achieving things. You're getting those wins that Simon is talking about. And when you have wins, you get momentum. And when you have momentum, that's when things get really exciting. And so getting those wins, you know, that aren't just, you know, oh, that was great, we did this today, or that was great, we did this today, but getting it in context of the plan and saying, look, we are marching toward our goal. We're getting there. Little wins. We're taking the hills one hill at a time, and we're climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
That's really important. So good point, Simon. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, I love everything everybody's talking about. I'll add a couple things, which is I think a lot of times as people are executing their plan, they get lost in minutia, right? So there's like that difference between a leading activity and a lagging activity. Activity we get paid for and activity we don't get paid for. I think a lot of times people get lost in the activities they don't get paid for, right? They get lost in the admin. They get lost in what they need to delegate. And they start doing work that is, for the sake of discussion, $10, $15 an hour work. And so I think a part of looking at the plan is to zoom out and say, okay, what do I got to delegate so I can really execute and do things that are actually growing my business every day that are within the plan. And then I would add with the plan being very specific and measurable in all of your goals. I find a lot of people say, make a lot of calls, do this, go see a lot of this, really kind of drill down to the specifics. And going back to Simon, what you're saying, day by day, right? And so I think a good next topic would be, because I think I see this happening a lot, and I think we all probably do, is people getting just stuck in not being able to move forward when they get to a certain point or a certain day, right? And layering in kind of time off, right? I mean, layering in downtime, layering in so you knowing before you get burnt out. So let's talk about how to keep going when it comes to, just working really hard, because, the first, the first year, a lot of times, the second year, the third year even, right? Those first 3 years take about 70%, 75, 80% of the energy, right? To build the foundation. So what do you do? What's your guys' advice to people when they're building that plan, executing, when they get to month 7 and they're just like, whew, I don't know where the steam is anymore. Simon, what are your thoughts?
My outlet was always my family and golf. Like, that was my thing. And whenever I feel like I get to that point, sometimes, you just need to like hang it up and, go and take a day or 2 or 3 or whatever, and get back on track and just kind of reset and not think about work, and then you'll come back just more creative, more energized, more ready to go, and remember why you're doing this. And it's just, you just can't keep pounding your head against the wall. Sometimes it's not the best thing to do. So I always knew my mind, but I had a hard time I still do. I have a really hard time shutting my mind off. It's like, oh, let's go to dinner with friends. It doesn't shut my mind off. I learned that golf shut my mind off. Like, I was able to golf, and that was 4 or 5 hours of me shutting my mind down. I was able to roll around with my kids, and that time I could really shut my mind off. So I identified those couple things, and I got more, I used to feel bad taking that time, because it's like I committed myself to this, and I'm going to work harder than everybody else. And sometimes you're hurting yourself and the people that are believing in you and coming to your company, or working with you, your clients or whatever, by not taking that time, because it's exhausting. So it's really, really exhausting. But I also think too, like, I'm a big component of the strongest survives, and working for yourself, working for, a sales position, it's not for everybody. So, you have to recognize that too. And I tell agents that all the time, and they're like, oh, you're saying this isn't for me? No, I'm not saying it isn't, but you're talking about going out and creating a revenue stream, creating, money from zero, from nothing, and making 6 figures, or making whatever it is that you want to do, or your goals are to go make $1 million or $100,000, or, you never made money before. You want to make 50 grand selling real estate, whatever it is. It's exhausting. It's hard. Like, you have to, it's not for everybody. Yeah. So don't try to be somebody that you're not. And I think you can do it. I think everybody could do it. I don't think there isn't anybody that's not capable, but it's a mindset thing that not everybody has. And, it is exhausting. So I'm a big component of, like, well, if I go hang out with my kids and golf more, I'll be more successful. No, that's not the case. That's what works for me, and it helps me. But you need to also understand who you are. And if you can't handle some of those things, it might not be the best situation for you. And that's not mean you're not going to be successful or be a failure. And I'm a really big component on being direct and brutally honest, because we're not talking to people that, we're talking to a lot of salespeople. We're talking to a lot of business owners. We're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs right now. We're not talking to, that in my mindset is who we're talking to, and it's not for everybody. So find those key things and make sure you spend, when you feel like you gotta, you need that time, go out and take it. Like, and you should feel obligated. You should feel like you owe that to yourself.
Yeah. Give yourself permission without guilt. Absolutely. Yeah. Randy, any thoughts?
Yeah, to echo and underscore what Simon said, I mean, the first person you need to take care of is you, right? You are your number one priority. So, find that activity, or that, what I'll call that misdirection, that takes your mind off, at this point, the puck, to concentrate on really who's out there and look at your audience. Yeah. And, again, if it requires you to simply shut down, then that, everybody is different. For me, all I need to do is maybe take an early Friday afternoon and make it a long weekend, right? You're never fully shut off as an entrepreneur, ever. I don't care what anybody says, because at some point it's going to cross your mind, but you can comfortably smile and say, I got this.
Yeah.
It will be okay. I joke now, because I think I'm blessed with a very busy practice. And I said that the day that I die, there'll still be work on my desk. It will never be completed. So again, allow yourself, as you said, that to come off without any guilt.
Yeah, I love that. I think everybody can relate to that one. That's hilarious. Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, I think I agree with with everything that's been said. I think that for me, talking about shutting off, and clearly we have to do this. You must do this. You must do it if you're going to be productive, optimally productive. But the thing is this: I find it hard to shut off if I am not sure where I am, or if I'm not sure what I've achieved or where I'm going. I need to know before I can really shut off that I've done my work, I'm on track, I'm on schedule. My productivity is matching up against the goals and milestones I've laid out for myself. So I don't have that sense of anxiety, when I'm trying to roll around on the floor with my kids or, that stuff is so important in life, and it is the place where you get the peace and you get the break and everything else. And, but you don't really ever really get it.
Yeah.
And there's that thing about being present and being in the now, and really enjoying the moment. I find I can't do that unless I know that things are good, things are on track, milestones are met, things are organized. So that's what a plan can help you do.
Yeah, no, amen to that. And the only thing I'll add, I love and agree with everything everybody's saying. I think for me, it's master your mornings. Right. To me, it's about master your mornings, master your calendar. I find getting up and meditating, working out, getting outside and going for a walk. Just everything I need to do to get grounded. And what I find is that because everybody gets off their page, but it's how fast do you have the rituals in place to get yourself back to center? Right. Mm-hmm. And how quickly you can get back to center is going to get you back into alignment to really grow. And whether it's, Simon, to what you said, you got to figure out what's right for you. Right. I think the obstacle for people is that, here we are talking about things, right? Business, life, how business gets in the way, life gets in the way, right? All of this. And I think what I love about our coaching programs that we're doing are these types of topics, these types of challenges where we're doing one-to-many group coaching, but customizing it to, what people really need in the moment. I think is really, really important, because these types of conversations, just by listening, even if people choose to sit back and observe, really help people put things in perspective, reprioritize, and kind of get things moving in the right direction. To just highlight for everybody, I just want to kind of go over what these coaching groups are and what they consist of, because I think they're really important. Randy Denha and I are starting one called Elevate, and it's for attorneys. Randy, maybe you can tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Elevate is a play on the word law. So it's E and then LAWVATE. So our goal, John and I, is to provide that, kind of being your accountability partners, kind of walking you through that day-to-day, sometimes the mundane, and giving you best practices and tips to really elevate you, your practice, and so forth, to generate more revenue, reduce your expenses, what to do when you walk into that room, how do you crowd control when you become that popular and everybody wants your business card. Or I'm sure there's an app for it. But we're going to walk through it with you, and I think collectively we're going to work together well, and we're going to learn a lot along the way. Yeah. So Elevate is really geared toward lawyers, both young and more mature.
And it's going to be weekly live coaching. I just want to say that weekly live coaching. Everyone's going to have their own back end page. Everything's going to be also off of a private Facebook page, launching May 27th at 4:30. So can't wait for that one. And in a world where many attorneys all over the country are working remotely, don't maybe collaborate as much as they need to, it's going to be a great program. Simon, you and I are doing one called Due Diligence for residential realtors. Again, a private coaching group off of a private Facebook page, weekly live coaching. That one is launching on May 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern. You want to tell everybody a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so we, John and I, we've been working with John DOBI, our company, DOBI Real Estate. We've been working with John for a while now, a couple of years since we've opened, and And, we've always kind of collaborated on, training and helping our agents. And we recognized really quickly that new agents 0 to 3 million, really are kind of like don't know how to get their business going. And there's some that do, and they do a great job at it, but there's a lot of agents right now that are kind of like, they get in the game and it's all right, this is going to be amazing, great, I'm going to sell my 10 houses a year and make X. And then they realize, oh my God, my family and friends don't just use me because I told them I'm a realtor, and this is a lot harder than I thought. And I am somebody that got in this business 10 years ago, never doing real estate ever in my life, grew up in the hospitality business, to 10 years later now that went from selling dollar homes in the city of Detroit my first year to now DOBI, which is an 80 agent brokerage. We're going to do 1,200 units and 400 million in sales this year. I don't say that to be cocky or arrogant. I say that because it was just kind of learning and doing the right things from day one. I mean, I was just like anybody else. I am just like anybody else when I got in this business. I wanted to make 50 grand a year to put gas in my car, and my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, take her to dinner once in a while, to like, oh my God, look at what this industry can do for you. So this is I'm very humble when it comes to that, and I want to give back. So John and I have talked a lot about that, and I want agents, no matter you're at DOBI or any wherever you are, to just get in this business with the right mindset, the right tools, the right coaching, and be able to, create a path that takes you to unlimited success. And that's really what due diligence is about, is just kind of doing the right things from day one in the residential game.
I love it. And I just want to add this, each group is $100 a month. We wanted to make the investment something that could fit into everybody's budget. And many people, especially in the residential space, they don't know what to do next. They don't know what to say next. They don't know what to implement next. And this is going to be teaching a lot of the next. So I can't wait. And then Jeff Sloan, Ken, I'm excited for ours, which is launching on. Ours is launching on May 26th at 5 p.m. Business Builders. And again, weekly live coaching. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about it?
Yeah, what I'm most excited about, John, is that, first of all, being an entrepreneur can be really lonely. And challenges you face on a daily basis can be the kinds of things where, God, that happened to me. Does that happen to everybody? Is this only happening to me? And I think the ability, actually, instead of it just being one-to-one, but actually being in a group setting where there's others that are going to be asking the same questions you're going to want to know the answers to, and experiencing the same challenges that you're experiencing and so on, I think really helps put your mind at ease a bit, if nothing else. Certainly there'll be, beyond that, a lot of education, a lot of tips and tools and tricks you can use to accelerate the growth of your business and give yourself the best odds for success. Yeah. But this is exciting. I'm really looking forward to doing this, John. It's cool to hear people's ideas and to hear their dreams and to help foster those things and be part of it and make a contribution. It's thrilling.
It's great. And I'll just add to that also for ours, Business Builders. I think a lot of new business owners have imposter syndrome. I think their mindset is all over the place. They need help with their messaging, their clarity, so many things. And this is going to be a great group where we're going to attack all of those. Fellas, there's no better time to collaborate on stuff like this. And I feel so grateful to collaborate with each of you and to do these bi-weekly podcasts to not only promote the group coaching and get the word out, but also share some great content, even for the people that never join, right? And that's our goal. We want to help as many people as we possibly can. So this is great. Randy Denha, appreciate you. Simon Thomas, appreciate you. Jeff Sloan, appreciate you. Think Community, everything can be found at johndwoskin.com for right now. And you can sign up, and we'll be launching these end of May. More news to come. Somebody asked real quickly, how is this different than Vistage or YPO? These are live weekly coaching groups that are going to be unique with 2 coaches. And it's going to be live coaching, and it's going to, I don't necessarily want to say I don't want to point out how it's necessarily going to be different, because to many people, the model may look the same, but we're all teaching experience, tips, and tools in real time, and this is going to be great. So hope to see everybody, and thanks, guys. This was fun.
Thank you.
Bye.